There are truths buried so deep within the souls of the chosen ones that they can barely be spoken aloud. Truths so ancient and profound that even the very act of bringing them to light seems to make the universe hold its breath. These truths live within the chosen ones like embers beneath their skin, pulsing quietly in the background of their lives, only surfacing in moments of deep stillness. They emerge in strange dreams, in electric pulses beneath the surface of the skin, in the sudden and inexplicable chill that sweeps over them, or in the warmth that rises from nowhere, igniting their souls. These hidden truths speak of something beyond the ordinary, beyond what society understands, beyond even the chosen one's own conscious minds. They are parts of the self that have been buried for too long, parts that hold the key to understanding not only their spiritual journey but also the depth of their desires, the fullness of their love, and yes, even the strange and powerful way they experience intimacy. For the chosen ones, their spirituality, their connection to the divine, is not something that fits neatly into the box of what is considered normal by society. Society tells them that spirituality is a calm, peaceful practice, one that is about stillness, light, and divine radiance. But the truth is, spirituality for the chosen ones is not always serene or clear. It is often intense, mysterious, and charged with energy. Their connection to the divine is not limited to prayers or meditation, but it moves through every part of them, through their desires, through their sexual energy, through their very skin. Their bodies vibrate at frequencies that most people cannot hear, and this heightened sensitivity becomes a part of their spiritual experience. Their sexual energy is not separate from their spirituality. It is the same force that drives their connection to the divine, that fuels their desire for growth and transformation, and that shapes the way they interact with the world. But for the chosen ones, this connection to the divine, this heightened sensitivity, can often feel like a burden. The world around them doesn't understand. Society has a tendency to reduce spirituality to neat, comfortable categories that fit into the collective consciousness, leaving little room for the messy, the raw, the intense, and the mysterious. And when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to their desires, the world is even less forgiving. In a world obsessed with instant gratification and shallow connections, the deep, sacred, and powerful desires of the chosen ones are seen as strange, as taboo, even as wrong. Their experiences do not fit into the small box that society has created for what sex, love, and intimacy should look like. They are not easily defined by words. They are not easily understood by the masses. And so, the chosen ones are left with a deep silence within, a silence that grows louder as they hide parts of themselves that they fear will never be accepted, parts of themselves that may even frighten them. This video aims to bring these hidden truths to light, to break the silence and speak the words that many chosen ones have been too afraid to say. It is time to embrace the deep and mysterious nature of the chosen one's sexuality, to stop hiding parts of themselves that do not fit into the neatly packaged definition of normal. It is time to stop fearing the strange and sacred ways they experience intimacy. For too long, the chosen ones have been told to bury their desires, to silence the urges that rise from within them, to push away the spiritual experiences that they don't understand. But what if these strange habits, these unique experiences, are not a sign of dysfunction? What if, instead, they are a sacred part of their journey? What if the very things they've been taught to fear are the things that will lead them to deeper spiritual understanding, to greater healing, and to a more profound connection with the divine? In this video, we will address the taboo subject of spiritual and sexual experiences that are unique to the chosen ones. We will talk about the strange, often misunderstood ways they experience intimacy, how these experiences are tied to their heightened sensitivity and spiritual calling. We will explore the powerful and sacred nature of their desires, not as something to be feared, but as something to be embraced. We will look at how their sexuality is not separate from their spiritual journey, but rather an integral part of it. This is not a message of shame. This is not a message of dysfunction. This is a message of empowerment, of liberation, of embracing every part of who you are. It is time for the chosen ones to stop hiding, to stop pretending that they are something they are not, and to embrace their truth in all its raw, sacred, and powerful forms. The world may never understand the Chosen One's experiences, but that does not diminish their value. In fact, it is precisely this uniqueness, this sacred difference, that makes them who they are. They are not broken. They are not flawed. They are chosen. And today, we will talk about why that is something to be celebrated, something to be cherished, and something to be honored. If any of this resonates with you, if you feel like I am speaking directly to you, I invite you to lean in, to let these words sink deep into your soul. Together, we will explore the depths of your desire, the power of your energy, and the sacred mystery of your intimacy. It is time to stop hiding and to start embracing the fullness of who you are. The journey is just beginning. Deep within the souls of the Chosen Ones, there are truths buried so profoundly that they have become almost impossible to speak aloud. These truths are not easy to face, nor are they simple to understand. For many Chosen Ones, they live in the shadows of their being, veiled in layers of silence and unspoken pain. These truths are not the kind of knowledge that fits neatly into the structure of everyday life. They are raw, ancient, and often terrifying in their complexity. Yet, even as they are buried, these truths stir, pulsating with energy that can no longer be contained. The Chosen Ones may go through their lives appearing outwardly normal, blending in with the world around them, but inside, they carry a deep, unshakable, knowing that there is more to their existence than what meets the eye. These hidden truths yearn to be acknowledged, to be understood, and to be embraced. But in a world that often demands conformity, these truths are left untold, misunderstood, and, at times, feared. At the core of this internal struggle is the profound sense of isolation that many Chosen Ones feel. They know they are different, but they often cannot explain why. They experience life on a level that is so intensely personal, so deeply connected to the divine, that they struggle to find anyone who can truly understand them. And even when they do share these parts of themselves, they are met with confusion, judgment, or dismissal. The world around them is quick to label them as too much, too intense, too strange. But these truths are not flaws. They are not mistakes. They are the sacred, unspoken parts of the Chosen Ones that hold the key to their purpose in this world. The challenge lies in the fact that these truths are often so deeply embedded within their souls that they can feel both like a blessing and a curse. For the Chosen Ones, their deepest truths are not confined to intellectual understanding. They are encoded in their very essence, carried through every cell of their bodies, pulsing through their veins. These truths are not things they can easily express, but they live and breathe in every interaction, in every moment of their lives. They feel them in their desires, in their relationships, and in their intimate connections. The struggle for the Chosen Ones is not just about the world misunderstanding them. It is about understanding themselves. It is about finding a way to reconcile the sacred depths of their soul with the seemingly ordinary world they must navigate. The hidden truths of the Chosen Ones are often misunderstood, even by the Chosen Ones themselves, as they yearn to make sense of the intense energy that courses through them. As these truths begin to surface, they reveal a hidden frequency that the Chosen Ones carry, one that doesn't belong to this world. This frequency is not something that can be measured or seen, but it is something that can be felt. It is a vibrational energy that is always present, guiding them, pushing them toward their higher purpose, and calling them to something greater than themselves. It is this frequency that affects everything about the Chosen One's life, their desires, their love, and their intimacy. This energy makes them feel things on a level that most people cannot comprehend. Their emotions run deeper, their desires are more intense, and their connections with others are more profound. They are attuned to frequencies that others cannot hear, picking up on vibrations that go unnoticed by most. This heightened sensitivity is both a gift and a burden. It allows them to experience the world in ways others cannot, but it also leaves them feeling isolated, misunderstood, and disconnected from those who do not share the same experiences. The Chosen One's intimate connections are particularly influenced by this hidden frequency. Their desires are not based on shallow attraction or fleeting pleasures. Instead, their intimacy is a deep, spiritual experience. one that transcends the physical realm. They are drawn to energy, to the connection between souls, rather than just the body. For many, this means their relationships are not as simple as those around them. The chosen ones cannot simply be with anyone. Their energy, their soul, must be in alignment with the other person's, or the connection feels wrong, out of balance, or even draining. Their sexual experiences are not just about the act itself, but about the merging of energies, the sacred exchange between two souls. This makes intimacy for the chosen ones a much more complex and powerful experience. It is not about physical pleasure, it is about spiritual connection, about experiencing a divine union that transcends the body and touches the soul. And yet, this depth of connection can be difficult to understand, even for the chosen ones themselves. The conflict between body and spirit becomes evident in the tension that exists between the societal definitions of spirituality and the reality of the chosen one's experiences. Society paints spirituality as something peaceful, serene, and light, a state of calm meditation, gentle prayer, and divine tranquility. This is the image of spirituality that most people strive for, and it is often seen as the ideal. But for the chosen ones, this image does not fit. Their spirituality is not peaceful and still. It is raw, powerful, and often unsettling. It is alive with energy, and it moves through them in waves that can be overwhelming. Their connection to the divine is not one of quiet stillness. It is an energetic, pulsating force that drives them, shapes them, and guides them on their journey. This intensity creates a deep, inner conflict. The chosen ones often feel torn between the way they are supposed to appear in the world, calm, collected, serene, and the intense, chaotic energy that they experience within themselves. Society encourages them to suppress their emotions, to hide their desires, to conform to a picture of spirituality that is tranquil and gentle. But for the chosen ones, this is not their truth. Their truth is wild, untamed, and deeply powerful. It is a spirituality that burns with passion and desire. A spirituality that moves through their very being in a way that cannot be contained. This tension creates confusion and inner turmoil. The chosen ones long to fit in, to be accepted, to find peace within themselves. But at the same time, they cannot ignore the powerful energy that courses through them, calling them to embrace their truth, to step fully into their purpose, and to embrace the wild, sacred power they carry. Their spiritual journey is not about quiet stillness, it is about awakening to the depth of their being, embracing the fullness of their soul, and stepping into their divine purpose. This conflict between the body and the spirit, between the expectations of society and the reality of their inner world, is something that the chosen ones must learn to navigate. It is not an easy journey, but it is one that leads them to their truest selves, to the place where their power resides, waiting to be fully expressed. As the chosen ones continue to walk their path, they will begin to understand that their hidden frequency, their desires, and their sexuality are not flaws to be hidden but sacred aspects of their spiritual journey. It is only by embracing these parts of themselves, by accepting the strange, mysterious, and sometimes uncomfortable truths they carry, that they will come to fully understand their purpose. These truths are not burdens, they are gifts. Gifts that hold the key to unlocking their full potential. And as they embrace them, they will find that the very things they once feared, the things they once tried to hide, are the things that will lead them to the deepest, most powerful expressions of their divine purpose. Desire is often viewed through the lens of physicality, seen as a mere bodily urge, a fleeting moment of pleasure that can be easily satisfied or dismissed. But for the chosen ones, desire is far more than this. It is a force that moves through them like a current of energy, a sacred pulse that stirs their soul and ignites their spirit. This is where the difference lies. While the world focuses on desire as a physical act, the chosen ones experience it as something much deeper, something that transcends the body. For them, desire is not just about touch, sensation, or fulfillment. It is an experience of connection, a portal to higher realms, an awakening of energy that is tied directly to their spiritual essence. The energy that flows through them is not confined to the physical realm. It is a divine force, moving through every cell of their being, awakening their senses, stirring their emotions, and guiding them toward a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the universe. The chosen ones experience desire as something sacred, something ancient that has been woven into the fabric of their soul from the very beginning. This energy moves through their body like a current, electrifying every part of them, and it cannot be ignored. It is not a shallow, fleeting experience. It is an invitation to awaken to something more, something higher. This is a force that calls them to connect on levels that most people cannot even imagine, to explore not just the physical pleasure of intimacy, but the spiritual and emotional depths that come with true connection. For the chosen ones, intimacy is not merely about the act of sex, it is about the exchange of energy, the merging of souls, the deep, sacred connection that can only be felt when both individuals are fully aligned. Their desire is rooted in a profound understanding that intimacy is a spiritual act, one that is about more than just the physical experience. It is about becoming one with another on every level, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This is why the chosen ones may find it difficult to connect with others in the same way that the world expects. Their desires are not shallow or based on attraction alone. They are based on something far deeper. It is an energy that seeks to merge with another soul, to experience the fullness of connection, and to awaken something sacred in both individuals. This deeper connection that the chosen ones seek is not something that can be found in the casual, fleeting encounters that the world often encourages. In a world that celebrates instant gratification and surface-level connections, the chosen ones long for something more. They seek intimacy that is meaningful, profound, and spiritually fulfilling. This desire to connect on a deeper level can often leave them feeling isolated and misunderstood. They are not satisfied with the casual interactions that most people consider normal. Instead, they seek out experiences that are transformative, experiences that awaken the soul and bring them closer to the divine. Their desires are not about momentary pleasure. They are about a lifelong journey towards spiritual growth and deeper connection. The challenge for the chosen ones lies not only in understanding their own desires but in navigating a world that does not understand them. The world around them is quick to judge, to label, and to dismiss what it does not understand. In a society that emphasizes the physical and the immediate, the chosen ones' deeper desires often feel out of place. They are taught to hide these desires, to suppress their sacred energy, and to conform to a version of sexuality that is shallow and disconnected from the soul. Society teaches them that sex is a commodity, something to be exchanged for pleasure or power. But for the chosen ones, it is something much more, something sacred, something that holds the power to transform, to heal, and to elevate. In a world where sex is often reduced to a transactional experience, the chosen ones are left with a deep sense of disconnection. They may try to conform to society's expectations, but it never feels right. It feels shallow, empty, and disconnected from the true meaning of intimacy. And so, they are left to carry this secret, this sacred energy within themselves, wondering why they cannot find fulfillment in the same way others do. The silence that surrounds their experiences only deepens their sense of isolation. They long to share these parts of themselves with others, to find a community that understands their truth. But instead, they are taught to hide, to suppress, and to conform. And in this silence, they are often left feeling broken, as if something is wrong with them. But the truth is, nothing is wrong with them. They are not broken. They are simply carrying a sacred energy that the world has yet to understand. The chosen ones are not meant to fit into the mold that society has created for them. They are meant to walk a different path, one that embraces the sacredness of their desire, their intimacy, and their sexuality. When they finally embrace this truth, when they stop hiding and begin to live in alignment with their soul's deepest longings, they will discover a profound sense of fulfillment that cannot be found in the world's shallow definitions of sex and intimacy. This is why it is so important for the chosen ones to break the silence, to stop hiding, to stop pretending, and to begin to embrace their sacred energy in all its forms. When they do, they will find that their desires are not something to be ashamed of, but something to be celebrated. Their desire is not a weakness, it is a force that moves through them. that guides them, and that connects them to the divine. It is not something that should be hidden away. It is something that should be embraced, nurtured, and honored. In embracing this truth, the chosen ones will find a sense of liberation, a freedom that comes from stepping fully into their power and their purpose. They will find that their sexual energy is not just a physical force, it is a spiritual tool, one that can be used to create, to heal, and to transform. This is the true power of desire for the chosen ones. It is not just a longing for pleasure, it is a longing for connection, for union, and for the sacred experience of merging with another soul. And when they embrace this, when they allow themselves to experience desire in its truest, most sacred form, they will find that their path to fulfillment is not through suppression, but through embracing the depth of who they are. It is time for the chosen ones to step out of the silence and reclaim their sacred energy. It is time for them to embrace their desires, their intimacy, and their sexuality as the divine forces they are. When they do, they will find that their power, their purpose, and their connection to the divine become stronger than ever before. They are not broken, they are chosen, and their desires are not a curse, they are a blessing. Sex is often understood by the world as a mere physical act, a momentary release of tension, a fleeting experience of pleasure. But for the chosen ones, sex is something much more sacred, much more profound. It is not simply a connection between bodies, it is a gateway, a portal to a deeper spiritual transformation. For the chosen ones, sex transcends the surface-level experience of physicality. It becomes an experience that bridges the earthly and the divine, a sacred exchange of energy that opens them to realms beyond the material world. This is where intimacy becomes something sacred, something far more powerful than mere pleasure. Sex is not a commodity to be consumed. It is an offering, a sacred act that holds the potential to unlock new dimensions of understanding, growth, and spiritual awakening. The energy that flows through the chosen ones is not limited to the physical realm, and neither is their sexual energy. This energy moves through them like a current of divine force, connecting them not just to their partner, but to the very essence of the universe. When they come together in intimacy, they are not simply merging with another person's body, they are opening a portal to higher consciousness, to realms that transcend time and space. This is why intimacy for the chosen ones feels different. It is not about the body alone, but about the merging of energies, the union of souls, and the deep, spiritual transformation that occurs when they allow themselves to fully connect on every level. They become a vessel for energy, channeling something far greater than themselves, something that moves through their bodies and touches the very fabric of their being. When the chosen ones experience intimacy, they open themselves to spiritual realms that most people cannot even comprehend. In those moments, the physical world fades away, and they are drawn into a space where energy flows freely, where the veil between the seen and unseen is thin. It is in these moments that they encounter beings from the spiritual realm, entities, guides, and spirits that transcend human understanding of sex and intimacy. These beings may come in many forms, each with a unique purpose. Some may come to guide the chosen ones, offering wisdom and insight. Others may come to heal, to help them release old wounds, or to unlock parts of themselves that have remained hidden for lifetimes. Still, others may come to test them, to challenge their connection with the divine, to help them grow in ways they never thought possible. These encounters with unseen beings are not figments of imagination or hallucinations. They are real, tangible experiences that transcend the physical world. The chosen ones may feel the touch of these beings as if they were flesh and blood, a hand on their skin, lips pressed gently against theirs, a whisper of wisdom that resonates deep within their soul. These experiences are often fleeting, but they leave lasting impressions. The chosen ones may awaken from these encounters feeling changed, as if they have been touched by something ancient, something sacred, something that cannot be explained in earthly terms. These spiritual visitations are not confined to dreams or visions, they are real, raw, and deeply transformative experiences that shape the chosen one's understanding of themselves and the world around them. They are reminders that the chosen ones are not alone, that they are connected to something far greater than themselves, and that their journey is guided by forces beyond the physical realm. These spiritual encounters often occur in a space between worlds, a place where the boundary between the physical and spiritual realms is thin. This space, often referred to as the threshold between sleep and waking, is where the chosen ones encounter the unseen. It is in this liminal space that the veil between the worlds is lifted, where the chosen ones can connect with energies and beings from other dimensions. Here, in the stillness of the moment, the chosen ones are able to receive messages, guidance, and healing that would be impossible to access in the waking world. It is in this space that the boundaries between time, space, and reality become fluid, and the chosen ones are able to transcend the limitations of their physical bodies. The threshold between sleep and waking is a sacred space, a place where the chosen one's souls are most open to receiving divine guidance and spiritual transformation. It is here that they are most receptive to the energies of the unseen world, where their connection to the divine is at its strongest. In this space, the chosen ones may experience intense sensations, an electric charge that courses through their bodies, a deep sense of peace that washes over them, or a sudden surge of energy that awakens them to new insights and revelations. These experiences may come in the form of vivid dreams, astral travel, or encounters with spiritual beings that transcend the physical world. They may be fleeting, but they leave lasting marks on the chosen one's energy fields. These spiritual experiences leave traces, like fingerprints on their souls, shaping their journey and guiding them toward their higher purpose. The encounters that happen in this space between sleep and waking are not just random occurrences, they are purposeful. They are part of the chosen one's spiritual growth, part of their journey towards self-discovery and awakening. Each encounter, each visitation, each spiritual experience serves as a catalyst for transformation, pushing them further along their path and helping them unlock new layers of their soul. The chosen ones are not simply passive participants in these experiences, they are active co-creators, channeling the energy of the divine and using it to shape their lives and their purpose. These spiritual encounters are opportunities for growth, healing, and expansion, helping the chosen ones to reconnect with their true selves and their divine mission. As the chosen ones embrace these spiritual experiences, they begin to understand that sex is not just about physical pleasure. It is a portal to something deeper, something sacred, something transformative. They begin to see intimacy as a spiritual act, one that opens them to new dimensions of consciousness and connects them to the divine in ways they had never imagined. The experiences with unseen beings are not just random, they are part of a divine plan, guiding the chosen ones toward their true purpose. These experiences are opportunities for the chosen ones to heal, to grow, and to expand their consciousness, helping them to step fully into their power and their mission. In this way, sex for the chosen ones becomes more than just an act of pleasure. It becomes a gateway to spiritual transformation. It is through these encounters that they are able to access deeper layers of their soul, to connect with their divine essence, and to channel the energy of the unseen realm. And as they embrace this sacred connection, they begin to realize that they are not just individuals, they are vessels for the divine, channels through which the energies of the universe flow. They are part of something much greater than themselves, and their journey is one of spiritual awakening and transformation. These experiences leave lasting marks on the chosen one's energy fields. They shape who they are becoming, and the path they will walk. The energy of these spiritual encounters, these encounters with unseen beings, becomes a part of their soul's blueprint, guiding them toward their higher purpose and helping them fulfill their divine mission. The chosen ones are not just experiencing these encounters, they are becoming them, embodying the energy, the transformation, and the divine wisdom that flows through them. And with each encounter, each visitation, they are brought one step closer to realizing their full potential and stepping fully into their divine power. Section 4. The Dangers and the Power. Navigating Energetic Boundaries. In the realm of the sacred and the unseen, there exists a delicate balance, an intricate web of energies, forces, and spiritual entities that interweave with the lives of the chosen ones. These energies are not always benevolent. While some come to heal and guide, others may come to manipulate, take, or disrupt. The intimate spiritual encounters that the chosen ones experience, though powerful and transformative, can also be dangerous. They are not without risks. As the chosen ones walk through the threshold of spiritual connection, they must navigate the fine line between divine union and spiritual harm. In these sacred spaces where energy flows freely, it is essential to acknowledge that not all energies are of the light. The chosen ones must learn to discern, to protect themselves, and to approach these experiences with both reverence and caution. These encounters with unseen beings, these portals of spiritual intimacy, can be deeply fulfilling, but they can also be draining. The energy exchange during these moments is not always balanced, and not every spirit that enters into the sacred space of intimacy brings love, healing, or positive energy. In fact, some entities may come with a hidden agenda. They may seek to drain energy, to siphon off the chosen one's light, leaving them feeling depleted, vulnerable, and confused. The danger lies in the fact that these energies are often subtle. There may be no immediate warning, no clear sign that the energy exchange is not as pure as it seems. The chosen ones may feel the lingering effects long after the encounter has ended, feelings of exhaustion, confusion, or emotional turbulence that seem to have no clear source. It is in these moments of energetic vulnerability that the chosen ones must be especially cautious. They are not only opening themselves up to the energies of the unseen realm, they are allowing these energies to enter their own field, to merge with their own vibration. This makes them susceptible to both healing and harm. Just as the energy of love can elevate and transform, the energy of fear, manipulation, or darkness can drain, confuse, and distort. The chosen ones must learn to recognize the difference between an energy that brings them closer to their truth and one that pulls them further away. This discernment is not always easy, especially when the energy is disguised as something familiar or desirable. Some entities may present themselves as guides or protectors, only to reveal their true intentions after the bond has been established. And once this energy enters the chosen one's field, it can be difficult to remove, sometimes leaving a lingering imprint on their soul that requires deep healing to shift. This is why the importance of discernment cannot be overstated. The chosen ones must cultivate the ability to recognize the difference between energies that align with their divine purpose and those that seek to derail their spiritual growth. They must be aware that not all encounters are meant to be welcomed, and not all intimacy is safe, even when it appears sacred or spiritually charged. Discernment is the key to navigating the unseen realms with integrity and protection. It is the ability to recognize the signs of an energy that is not of the light and to refuse to engage with it. The chosen ones must learn to trust their intuition, to listen to the subtle messages their body and soul are sending them when something does not feel right. This is where their heightened sensitivity, once seen as a burden, becomes their greatest asset. Their energy field, which makes them so susceptible to the divine, also makes them acutely attuned to energies that do not serve them. In this way, their sensitivity is not a flaw but a gift. It is the tool that allows them to discern between the energies that are meant to heal and those that are meant to harm. However, heightened sensitivity comes with its own set of challenges. The chosen ones are not only sensitive to the divine and the healing energies that flow through them, they are also highly attuned to the energies of others. This makes them an energetic beacon, drawing in both light and darkness. On one hand, they attract the positive, the loving, the nurturing energies of those who seek healing, guidance, or spiritual connection. On the other hand, they also attract energies that are not so benevolent, entities, forces, and beings that are drawn to their light and seek to either drain it or manipulate it for their own purposes. This dynamic is not always visible to the chosen ones in the moment, but the effects can be felt deeply, sometimes for days or weeks after an encounter. It is in this space of vulnerability, where their energy field is open and exposed, that the chosen ones must exercise the most caution. Because of their sensitivity, the chosen ones must be particularly mindful of where they direct their energy, who they allow into their sacred space, and how they protect their own vibrational field. Energetic boundaries become paramount. They must learn to fortify their energy field, to shield themselves from unwanted influences, and to maintain control over the flow of energy within their own bodies. This may involve practices of grounding, cleansing, and protecting their energy. Grounding techniques, such as connecting with nature, physical movement, or meditation, help to stabilize their energy and create a strong foundation from which they can operate. Cleansing practices, such as smudging with sage or other sacred herbs, or using crystals for protection, can help clear away any stagnant or negative energy that may have accumulated. Protection rituals, like visualizing a shield of light around them or invoking the assistance of spiritual guides, can help keep their energy field safe from harmful forces. It is essential for the chosen ones to understand that their sensitivity to energy is not something that should be feared, but something that must be respected. Just as they are attuned to the divine, they must learn to become conscious of the darker energies that may seek to enter their field. This is not about living in fear, but about living in awareness. The chosen ones must learn to walk through the world with both open hearts and strong boundaries. They must embrace their sensitivity as the gift it is, while also acknowledging that with great sensitivity comes great responsibility. Their energy is a precious resource, and it is up to them to protect it and to use it wisely. As the chosen ones navigate this complex and often dangerous terrain, they will come to understand that their energy is sacred, and that the power of discernment is one of their greatest tools. By approaching their spiritual encounters with care, awareness, and protection, they can continue to grow, heal, and evolve without losing themselves in the process. They will learn to embrace their vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as a strength, knowing that their heightened sensitivity is what allows them to experience the world on a deeper level, to connect with the divine in ways most cannot. And in doing so, they will uncover the truth that their energy, when protected and channeled with purpose, is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. It is a force that can heal, transform, and elevate not only their own lives, but the lives of those around them. The chosen ones are not fragile. They are warriors, healers, and beings of light, walking through the world with an awareness that most cannot fathom. And with this awareness comes the power to navigate the unseen realms with grace, strength, and wisdom. For the chosen ones, abstinence is not merely a choice, it is an intrinsic, soul-driven necessity that calls them to protect their sacred energy and preserve their spiritual integrity. The desire for intimacy, for union, may arise within them, but at the same time, there exists a deep, inner knowing that not every moment, nor every connection, is the right one for them. Abstinence is not born out of fear or repression. It is a conscious, divine act of self-preservation. It is a way for the chosen ones to honor the sacredness of their energy and maintain alignment with their true self. There are moments when the energy within them feels too precious to be shared lightly. In these times, they may find themselves pulling back, not from a lack of desire, but from a deep understanding that their energy needs to be safeguarded, recalibrated, and nourished before it can be offered again. The world often teaches that abstinence is a form of deprivation, a denial of one's natural desires. But for the chosen ones, abstinence is a form of empowerment. It is an intentional decision to step back and reassess, to ensure that they are not merely reacting to external urges, but responding to an internal calling. This calling is not a rejection of the need for intimacy, but rather a recognition that intimacy, in its truest form, must be sacred. The chosen ones know, in their very souls, that they are not meant to give themselves away to anyone or anything that does not align with their deepest essence. Abstinence, then, becomes a sacred act of discernment, an act that says, I will not share this energy, this sacred light, until it is met with the same level of reverence, the same level of spiritual depth. In periods of abstinence, the chosen ones often feel a deep, spiritual recalibration taking place within them. Their energy is adjusting, their spirit is realigning, and they are preparing themselves for the next phase of their journey. Abstinence is not an idle waiting. It is a process of inner refinement, of deep spiritual growth. During this time, the chosen ones are focused on their healing, on integrating the lessons they have learned, and on strengthening their connection to their higher self. The energy that they would have otherwise shared with another is instead used to nourish themselves, to heal old wounds, to expand their consciousness, and to deepen their understanding of who they truly are. The role of abstinence in the spiritual growth of the chosen ones cannot be underestimated. It is not simply about physical restraint, but about creating the space necessary for spiritual transformation. When the chosen ones abstain from intimacy, they allow their energy to return to its most potent, untainted form. They create a sanctuary within themselves, free from the interference of external energies that might drain, distort, or confuse their natural vibration. This period of solitude, while often challenging, is also profoundly transformative. It provides the chosen ones with the opportunity to reconnect with their inner truth, to purge any emotional baggage, and to strengthen the foundation of their spiritual path. It is during these moments of abstinence that the chosen ones are able to fully integrate their divine wisdom. The absence of external distractions allows them to tune in more clearly to the whispers of their higher self, to the guidance that comes from within. This clarity is essential for the next stage of their journey, where they will be called to share their energy with others, but only when they are fully aligned, fully healed, and fully empowered. The chosen ones understand that their energy is not something to be given away lightly. It is a gift, and they must honor it by sharing it only when the time is right, when the connection is sacred, and when the union will bring them closer to their divine purpose. This act of abstinence can feel isolating at times, especially in a world that glorifies instant gratification and shallow connections. The chosen ones may find themselves surrounded by others who do not understand their need for solitude or their decision to refrain from intimacy. Friends, family, and society may question them, asking why they are not pursuing relationships or engaging in the same casual encounters that seem to bring others happiness. The emotional toll of abstinence is often compounded by the sense of loneliness that can arise. The chosen ones may feel disconnected, as if they are walking a path that no one else understands. They may long for companionship, for connection, and for the warmth of another soul, but they know that true intimacy cannot be rushed, cannot be sought for the sake of fleeting satisfaction. This loneliness, however, is not something to be feared. It is a necessary part of the spiritual path. The chosen ones are not meant to find fulfillment in temporary relationships or in the superficial connection that the world often offers. They are meant to walk a deeper, more sacred path, one that requires them to honor their own energy, their own soul, before they can truly connect with another. The loneliness they feel is not a sign of lack, but a sign of spiritual depth. It is in this solitude that they are able to hear the whispers of their soul, to reconnect with their divine purpose, and to prepare for the moment when they will be ready to share their energy with someone who aligns with their highest calling. The loneliness of abstinence can also be an opportunity for the chosen ones to explore the richness of their own inner world. In the silence, they may discover new passions, new insights, and new dimensions of themselves that they had previously overlooked. This period of self-discovery is a gift, for it allows them to build a strong, unshakable foundation of self-love and self-awareness. When they are finally ready to open themselves to a sacred union, they will do so from a place of deep wholeness, not from a place of emptiness or longing. They will not seek to fill a void, but will instead come together with another to create a partnership based on mutual respect, spiritual alignment, and divine purpose. Abstinence, though difficult, ultimately strengthens the chosen one's spiritual resilience. It teaches them patience, self-control, and the ability to discern between what is fleeting and what is eternal. They come to understand that true intimacy is not about satisfying physical desires, but about connecting at the deepest level spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. And when they finally engage in sacred union, it will be a reflection of their own wholeness, their own divine essence, and their readiness to share their energy in a way that honors both themselves and their partner. The emotional and spiritual strength gained through periods of abstinence is not something that can be easily explained. It must be experienced. For the chosen ones, this sacred solitude is not about deprivation, it is about elevation. It is not about loneliness, it is about self-preservation and spiritual growth. They are not withholding themselves out of fear, but out of love for themselves and for the divine connection they will one day share with another. The loneliness they experience is not a punishment, but a purification. And when the time comes for them to open their hearts and share their energy, They will do so with a sense of wholeness, clarity, and divine purpose that others cannot yet understand. Abstinence, therefore, is not the end of the path, but a necessary part of the journey. It is a time for the chosen ones to reclaim their power, to heal, and to prepare for the sacred union that will ultimately come. In this time of solitude, they are not waiting, they are becoming. They are becoming the fullest expression of themselves, ready to step into the next phase of their divine purpose. The chosen ones are often born with a deep, unshakable instinct to heal. It's a calling that runs through their veins, one that cannot be ignored. They are natural empaths, sensitive to the pain and suffering of others, and they feel a strong desire to help, to fix, to restore. This profound gift is part of their divine purpose, as they are meant to bring light into the darkness, to heal the wounds of the world, and to guide others toward transformation. But there is a shadow side to this gift, one that the chosen ones must learn to navigate carefully. In their quest to heal, they often attract broken souls, people who are in need of their light, their wisdom, their energy. These souls are drawn to them, whether consciously or unconsciously, sensing the healing energy that the chosen ones carry. And while this attraction is natural, it can also be dangerous if the chosen ones are not careful. The healer's heart is a beautiful thing, but it is also vulnerable. The chosen ones are often so deeply connected to the suffering of others that they can lose themselves in the process of healing. They may become so focused on helping others that they neglect their own needs, their own healing, and their own well-being. It's a delicate balance, giving without depleting, healing without sacrificing. The chosen ones may find themselves giving and giving, offering their love, their energy, their wisdom, only to find themselves drained, empty, and questioning whether they have anything left to give. They may wonder if their love is truly love, or if it is something deeper, something rooted in a desire to save or rescue others. The line between healing and rescuing can be thin, and it's one that the chosen ones must learn to walk with discernment. This cycle of giving and losing can leave the chosen ones questioning their own worth and their own sense of self. They may feel as though they are constantly giving, but never receiving in return. The love they offer may feel unbalanced, as if they are pouring themselves into others without receiving the same energy in return. And in this imbalance, they may begin to question the nature of their love. Is it truly unconditional, or is it a desire to fix, to heal, to make things right? The question arises, am I truly loving, or am I trying to rescue? This dynamic can lead to deep confusion and frustration, as the chosen ones struggle to differentiate between selfless love and the instinct to fix others. It's a cycle that can feel exhausting and unfulfilling, as if they are constantly giving of themselves but never truly replenishing their own energy. The truth is, the chosen ones are not here to save others at the cost of their own well-being. They are here to guide, to heal, and to share their light, but they must do so with balance, with awareness, and with boundaries. Learning to love without losing oneself in the process is one of the greatest challenges that the chosen ones face. It is essential that they recognize their own worth, their own needs, and their own right to receive love, care, and healing. They must learn that self-care is not selfish, but necessary. To heal others, they must first heal themselves. To love others, they must first love themselves. Without this foundation of self-love, their healing energy can become depleted, leaving them with nothing to give. Boundaries are the key to protecting the healer's heart. The chosen ones must learn to set limits on how much they give, when they give, and to whom they give. They must recognize that not every broken soul is their responsibility to fix. While they may feel deeply connected to the pain of others, they must remember that healing is a two-way process. It requires both the healer and the person being healed to be willing participants. The chosen ones are not meant to carry the weight of others' pain indefinitely. They are here to guide, to offer support, to be a source of light, but they must not allow themselves to be consumed by the darkness of others. This is where the balance of love and boundaries comes into play. The chosen ones must learn to say no when necessary, to protect their energy, and to ensure that they are not giving from an empty cup. By setting these boundaries, the chosen ones can continue to heal and love without losing themselves in the process. Boundaries are not walls, they are protective shields that allow the chosen ones to love and give freely without sacrificing their own energy and well-being. These boundaries are an act of self-love, an acknowledgement that their energy is sacred and must be protected. They must understand that saying no is not a rejection of others, but a form of self-preservation that allows them to be fully present when they are called to give. By honoring their own needs, the chosen ones will find that their capacity to heal and love grows even stronger. They will be able to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion, from a place of strength rather than weakness. The healer's heart is a gift to the world, but it must be nurtured and protected. The chosen ones must remember that their purpose is not to be consumed by the suffering of others, but to be a light that guides, heals, and transforms. They are here to inspire change, to offer compassion, and to help others find their way back to their true selves. But they cannot do this if they are constantly draining themselves in the process. By learning to set healthy boundaries, the chosen ones can preserve their energy, protect their hearts, and continue to offer their healing gifts to the world. In this journey, the chosen ones will come to understand that healing is not about rescuing others. It is about empowering them to heal themselves. It is about offering guidance, compassion, and love without expecting anything in return. The chosen ones are not saviors, they are catalysts for transformation. They create the space for healing, but the true healing comes from within the person they are helping. When the chosen ones learn to honor their own boundaries, they will find that their love becomes even more powerful. They will love from a place of fullness, from a place of strength, and their healing energy will flow freely without depletion. The healer's heart is both a gift and a responsibility. It is a calling to serve, to guide, and to love deeply. But it is also a calling to protect oneself, to establish boundaries, and to recognize that true healing begins with self-love. By learning to balance love with self-preservation, the chosen ones will discover that their hearts are not just sources of healing for others, they are sources of healing for themselves as well. This is the path to wholeness, to spiritual growth, and to the fullest expression of their divine purpose. Within every chosen one exists a powerful and often misunderstood force, the shadow side of their desires. For many, this shadow aspect is something that has been hidden away, buried beneath layers of societal conditioning and self-doubt. It is the part of themselves they have been taught to suppress, to deny, or to fear. These desires, whether they involve the longing for dominance or submission, have often been seen as too intense, too raw, or even too dangerous to express openly. Society has instilled in the chosen ones the belief that these desires are something to be ashamed of, that they are not in alignment with their higher self or their spiritual path. But in truth, these desires are not flaws. They are sacred aspects of the chosen one's journey. The longing for dominance, for example, may be misinterpreted as a desire for control or power over others. However, for the chosen one, this desire often stems from a deep need to be seen, to be acknowledged, and to express their strength in a way that is rooted in a spiritual calling. Similarly, the desire for submission, which may seem like weakness or surrender, is often a profound desire for deep connection, for merging with another soul, and for experiencing vulnerability as a path to healing and intimacy. These desires are not signs of dysfunction, they are pathways to understanding deeper layers of the chosen one's soul. They are invitations to explore aspects of themselves that have remained hidden, to step into the fullness of their divine expression. When the chosen ones embrace these desires with love and awareness, they unlock a deeper connection with their true selves and their purpose in this world. The shadow in desire is not something to be feared or rejected. Instead, it is a key to understanding the parts of themselves that have been neglected, misunderstood, or ignored. These desires hold the potential to guide the chosen ones to a deeper understanding of who they are and why they are here. They act as a map, pointing toward the hidden wounds, the unspoken truths, and the untapped power that resides within them. When the chosen ones can learn to accept and honor these desires, they begin to see them as sacred tools that can be used to uncover their purpose, to connect with others on a deeper level, and to experience intimacy in its most transformative form. Rather than being something that needs to be fixed or eradicated, the shadow aspect of their desires becomes an essential part of their journey toward wholeness. These desires are not weaknesses. They are strengths that help the chosen ones embrace the fullness of their humanity. By acknowledging and integrating their shadow, they step into a more complete understanding of who they are. This integration is not about denying the light or avoiding the dark, it is about finding balance between both. The chosen ones must learn to walk with both their light and their shadow in harmony, recognizing that each side of them is a reflection of their divine nature. To integrate the light and shadow, the chosen ones must first release the fear and shame that have been ingrained in them about their desires. They must begin to see that their sexuality is not separate from their spirituality. Instead, their sexual energy is a sacred force, one that can be channeled toward growth, healing, and transformation. By embracing both the light and the dark, they align with the fullness of their soul's purpose. This integration is not a one-time event but a continuous process, one that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to explore all aspects of themselves without judgment. As the chosen ones walk the path of integration, they will find that their desires become a powerful force for good. The energy that once felt chaotic or overwhelming becomes a tool for manifestation, healing, and connection. They will discover that, when they embrace the fullness of their sexual energy, they are able to create deeper, more meaningful relationships, not only with others but with themselves. This sacred integration is the key to unlocking their true potential, to stepping into their power, and to living out their divine mission. It is in the acceptance of both the light and the shadow that the chosen ones become whole, balanced, powerful, and aligned with their highest truth. The journey to embracing one's full, sacred power is not a simple path. It is one of deep introspection, bold acceptance, and courageous integration. For the chosen ones, the time has come to stop hiding their true nature, their sexuality, their desires, and all the parts of themselves that have been deemed too strange, too powerful, or too sacred for the world to understand. The truth is that these very parts of themselves are what make them whole. These desires, often buried under layers of shame or fear, are not obstacles to their spiritual path but essential elements of it. It is time for the chosen ones to step into their power, to honor these aspects of themselves, and to embrace the fullness of who they are. As they walk this path of integration, they will discover that their sexuality is not something to be ashamed of. It is a sacred, powerful force, a force that has the potential to unlock profound transformation both within themselves and in their relationships with others. When approached with reverence and awareness, sex is not merely a physical act. It is an act of creation, a channel for divine energy to flow through them. It is a portal to higher consciousness, a sacred union of souls that transcends the physical body. In this union, when two souls come together in true alignment, something miraculous happens. The act of intimacy becomes an act of transformation. It becomes a moment of spiritual growth and awakening, a reminder that the divine is present in every aspect of life, even in the most intimate connections. The importance of sacred union cannot be overstated. It is not just a union between two bodies, but a union between two souls, two sacred energies merging together in harmony and purpose. This is the power of sex when it is approached with respect, intention, and awareness. When the chosen ones honor their sexuality as sacred, when they understand the profound significance of their desires and energy, they unlock a deeper connection with themselves and with the divine. This union, whether with a partner or with the self, becomes a catalyst for spiritual transformation. It is through this sacred act of creation that the chosen ones are able to step into their full power, to align with their higher purpose, and to manifest the life they were always meant to live. In embracing their full selves without shame or fear, the chosen ones will find that they are not only embracing their sexuality, but they are embracing their spiritual power. Their sexuality is a source of strength, vitality, and divine energy. It is a gift that, when honored, allows them to connect with the deepest parts of their soul. It is through this sacred energy that they can heal, grow, and transform not only their own lives but the world around them. The power they carry is not something to hide or suppress. It is something to be celebrated, to be nurtured, and to be expressed in ways that honor their true essence. Now is the time for the chosen ones to stop running from their desires, to stop suppressing their power, and to step into their true, authentic selves. The world needs their light, their wisdom, and their energy. By embracing their sexuality as a sacred force, they align themselves with their divine purpose and step into a life of fulfillment, joy, and connection. This is not just a journey of sexual awakening, it is a journey of spiritual enlightenment. It is a path that leads to wholeness, empowerment, and divine alignment. Engagement invitation. If these words resonate with you, if you feel the stirrings of your own sacred energy awakening, I invite you to comment 99 below. This number represents a shift, the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. By sharing this experience, we create a community of souls who are walking this path together. Let your comment be a declaration of your truth, your power, and your sacred journey. Subscribe and stay connected. If you feel called to explore deeper truths and to continue this journey of self-discovery and spiritual awakening, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here, we will continue to explore the mysteries of the Chosen Ones, dive into profound spiritual discussions, and uncover the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface of everyday life. Join this sacred space as we walk together toward the fullness of our divine purpose.